The Forges of Venal. The grinding brakes of the transport car spark with a shriek, the sheer and cutting noise tearing us awake from dreams of better lives. We rise from our restless slumber, out of scratchy beds made of straw and scraps of irregular cloth, and stumble from one side of our one-roomed shacks to the other. We scrounge together meals fit for vermin, any scraps we can find, boiled and mashed and into an indistinguishable mush in the vain hope of getting rid of the taint of disease or parasitic presences within. If a poor soul is lucky, and the foreman shares a rare shred of kindness, they might feast upon a couple slices of bread and a heavenly piece of dried and salted meat. We fetch our rough woolen jackets from their reverent hooks up on the wall, the nicest piece of clothing most will ever touch, probably passed down from father to son for who knows how many generations. As we pull each sturdy boot onto our feet, we say a silent prayer to something out there, hoping it might keep us safe for another day in the forges. We crack open the doors of our dilapidated shacks as the high-pitched steam whistles placed on every corner of the sharp steel towers above cry down from above, announcing the call to the forge, axe, and pick. The metallic monoliths reach high up to the city of wealth and splendor above, taunting us with the frivolous luxury of the high city of Venal, the gilded exterior image of wealth and plenty the empire shows the world. We schlep through the truth of its rotten interior, the swamps outside our doors buzzing with parasites and swimming with toxins, towards the haphazardly built pathways which stand above, rickety bridges of scrap metal built to lead the worker ants to their menial labor. Far in the sky above, along one of the countless rail lines, a dreaded trash car stops and unleashes its contents. A deluge of broken machines, destroyed automatons, rusted and bent into useless scrap, fall alongside a shower of ungodly chemical mixtures smelling of burnt motor oil and sulfur. We pass by the poor souls unfit for labor, nor with any family to their name, sitting in the alcoves of buildings or in makeshift shelters out in the swamp, coated in the scent of slow and painful death. They are sickly and thin, some with blisters leaking thick, black, acidic pus, others with legends dotting their form, showing decaying flesh and rotting organs, open for all disease and infection to share as a home. We watch them with sadness as we walk towards the inner city. Some wish to help, some dread their future, all keep their solemn march towards their eternal duty. Some make their ways down into deep mines, choked by smoke from crude lights and dust from barely stable tunnels as they search for metallic ore flesh of the empire and the liquid gold of oil that runs through its veins. The strongest are sent to the very edge of the land to gather lumber from what little remains of the ancient forests. Tragic lands which have turned into nothing more than barren, lifeless fields of mud and rock, scattered with the last of a dying people of greenery, the only reminder of the beauty the world used to be in ages long past. However, most descend deeper into the city, following the road as swamp turns to meadow and ground turns to pit. Layers upon layers of forges, furnaces, fire, brimstone, clouds of smog and lakes of oil replacing any features of the natural world. The sky, horizon, and even the upper city above disappear as countless stories of buildings and clouds of smoke and smog block it all out as they sting the eyes and burn the nostrils, immersing us in the grand industry of Venal. The mountainous towers entrap us among them, covered in sharp edges on balconies, on door frames, on pillars. The shining steel seems ready to punish any disobedient citizen under its watch. Light only appears from the ever-burning fires in the forges below, or the slight glow of automaton sentinels' eyes ready to pounce on the slightest act of disobedience. The further we get into the pits of flame, towards anvils and crucibles ready to forge another weapon of war, the watchful eyes of the sentinels grow more and more present. They stand among the crowds, hide upon rooftops like vultures, and silence those of us who dare to speak against the city's will. Some seem to be one of us. Some of them even were one of us once, wearing a man as we might wear our coats, but those standing guard from afar are worse. We arrive at the countless forges in the pits. Many split off to fetch ore from the stockpiles of rock in the smog-filled depths of the pit, while smiths stand quietly, staring into the burning embers of their forge, waiting to start their tasks once more. Among the orange-yellow sparks that dance among piles of coal, we drown the sorrows of past days where we hoped for freedom. As we melt steel in crucibles larger than a home, we mourn a friend who dared to speak, only to be shattered against one of the machines he himself had forged, leaving only a mess for a janitor to sweep aside. We pour molten metal, remembering the smell of oil as one jumps to life, the whirring of the gears as it attacks, the sickening crunching of bones and blasts of bullet fire as we continue in our endless tasks. The forges of Venal burn brightly as they churn out weapons for the Empire's war machine. We folk of the city, shattered and hopeless, cling to what life we can and turn the gears forevermore. To drown out the dead, we listen to the clang of steel and the grinding of brakes, dreaming of what could have been.